Liberals just tried to set off President Trump with the latest Time magazine, which features Elon Musk sitting in the president's chair. They even headlined it with "Inside Elon Musk's War on Washington." Well, the president quickly shut that down. He said he didn't even know that they were still in business. Now, what can I tell you guys? Unfazed, unbothered, unstoppable. That's our commander-in-chief right there, guys. But you know who's having a meltdown right now? Maxine Waters and the rest of the Democrats in Congress. You see, right after they tried storming the USAID building and got refused at the door, they went to the Department of Education building. You know what happened? They were again stopped by an unbothered security guard. Man, Congresswoman Maxine Waters definitely threw a fit over that one. And we got the video. And it's not just her. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, he also pledged Democrats would fight President Donald Trump's agenda in the streets. Kind of like how Maxine Waters told supporters to create a crowd and push back on officials. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore. Anywhere. Yeah, this is exactly the kind of inflammatory rhetorics that have led to not just one, not just two, but 3 assassination attempts on President Trump during his campaign. Now, like someone said on social media, Jeffries is going to get people hurt. But hey, President Trump is in charge now, and he's not going to be letting this kind of thing slide anymore. In fact, he, together with his whole team of supporters, they are fighting back. Viral Trump supporter Joe Rogan, he called out Kamala Harris's campaign for their lies. They suggested he purposefully effed interview negotiations with the former vice president in favor of then candidate Donald Trump. But Joe Rogan says that they're just trying to cover their you-know-whats. Now, there's also the recently released transcript from CBS News' 60 Minutes interview. It proved that the president was right. There was a lot of word salad editing that happened there. As President Trump put on Truth Social, CBS and 60 Minutes defrauded the public by doing something which has never been done to this extent, been seen before. For that, he's calling for the show to be shut down. So yeah, Democrats are definitely getting desperate while our president is just getting better and better as time goes on. All right, guys. So first, we got to see President Trump in his clip talking about the Time magazine cover. By the way, appreciate y'all hitting the like button. Thank you for subscribing to the channel and sharing this video. Guys, our commander-in-chief was so cool. He was so calm. He was so collected. Check this out.
Mr. President, do you have a reaction to the new Time magazine cover that has Elon Musk sitting behind your resolute desk?
タイムマガジンにイーロン・マスクが大統領の机の後ろで座っている写真がありますけども、それに関するコメントは何かありますか?
Is Time magazine still in business? I didn't even know that.
まだタイムマガジンは廃刊じゃないんですか?
Elon is doing a great job. He's finding tremendous fraud and corruption and waste. You see it with the USAID, but you're going to see it even more so with other agencies and other parts of government. He's got a staff that's fantastic. He's wanted to be able to do this for a long time, and everybody else knew it was existent, but I think never so much when you look at USAID. That's a fraud. The whole thing is a fraud. Very little being put to good use. Every single line that I look at in terms of events and transactions is either corrupt or ridiculous. And we're going to be doing that throughout government. And I think we're going to be very close to balancing budgets for the first time in many years. I think we're going to be very close to, in addition to monies coming in from tariffs, et cetera, et cetera. But no, he's doing a very good job. I'm very happy with it.
Will you put Elon Musk up on the podium for us to ask him some questions, Mr. President, at any point? Will you put Elon Musk up on the podium for us to ask him some questions?
Oh, sure. He'll be. He's not shy. Elon's not shy. Any further?
Now, seriously, guys, I just cannot wait for the IRS audit because, see, Time magazine was definitely trying to start something with this cover of Elon Musk sitting at the president's desk. They probably thought that they were going to get a rise from the president about this. But, I mean, did you notice they even asked President Trump about it during the meeting with Japan Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba? But yeah, the president just kind of blew that off real quick saying, is Time magazine still in business? He didn't even know that. Now, that's a quick president. That was a quick response, and he turned a diss into like a laughing moment. Anyway, so as for Elon Musk, Trump said the man's doing a great job. He's finding tremendous fraud and corruption and waste. I mean, just look at the number that they did on the U.S. Agency of International Development, or USAID. Trump said the whole thing is a fraud. Very little being put to good use. Every single line that he looked at in terms of events and transactions, it's either corrupt or it's ridiculous. Plus, Time magazine really is just trying to stay stay afloat and relevant at this point. Just last year, they named Trump Person of the Year for 2024. Then last month, the magazine's cover featured Trump wiping former President Biden's items off the Oval Office Resolute desk with the headline, "He's back." I mean, pick a lane, right, guys? Now, honestly, I'm considering this to be the last gasp of breath for the liberals and the Democratic Party because, you know, they're pretty desperate. Like, how else do you explain this stunt that they pulled at the Department of Education? Here, watch this.
The DOGE system has access to individuals' members' tax returns, their social security, their bank account numbers. There is a law under the Internal Revenue Code, section is 6103, that it's a criminal penalty to access these accounts. We wanted to know from the Treasury Secretary who accessed this, what their security clearance was, what they're going to do with it, why were they accessing it and using thumb drives to take information out, why did they need people who were there who had the ability to change and do coding. These are questions that we have as well. And it is very, very illegal and very, very concerning. Abraham Lincoln said it best, that nothing can be done without public sentiment.
I mean, right after they tried storming the USAID building just a few days ago, right? Seriously, guys, after watching this, I'm reminded of Kamala Harris's favorite line because I feel so unburdened by what has been and what may have been if Democrats won the election in November. Drop a quick yes in the comments, guys. Hit the like button if you guys agree with me. Also, subscribe to the channel, tap that notification bell. Really do appreciate you guys. Hey, by the way, guys, if you're one of the real ones who really enjoy what we do here on the channel, you've got to check out the Inner Circle. This is where our true supporters get exclusive access to content that I just can't share here, completely commercial free. It's also the best way to keep this channel going strong. So if you want to be a part of something special, join us over there. Links in the description or in the pinned comment down below. All right, so you guys all saw the clip. House Democrats, especially Representative Maxine Waters, having a meltdown at the Department of Education building. There were 30 of them apparently who attempted to enter so that they could force a meeting with Acting Education Secretary Denise L. Carter regarding Trump's plan to significantly downsize or even completely eliminate the department, but they were stopped by security. But what caught the internet's attention was how Maxine Waters and other Democrats could be seen on video berating the security guard, repeatedly asking for his ID and telling him to look at the camera so viewers could see his face. Conservatives online commented on the exchange. Author Justin Hart called it hilarious that the Democrats have octogenarians going around town trying to intimidate federal workers for some reason or another. Newsbusters managing editor Curtis Hook, he called it absolutely pathetic theater from House Democrats. Daily Signal investigative columnist Tony Kinnett, he pointed out how about 3 years ago, Democrats wanted to hear nothing from parents concerning their kids' schools. They sent the FBI after parents. Now they're claiming to represent them. Congressional Leadership Fund Communications Director Turin Sinclair explained that that's just more proof that the Democrats are floundering. Outkick founder Clay Travis said what we're all thinking. Trump has completely broken the Democratic Party. They are in total shambles. I mean, just see what House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries had to say about their anti-Trump agenda. He said that they're going to fight it legislatively. They're going to fight it in the courts, and they're going to fight it in the streets. Social media users called it Jeffries Maxine Waters moment. Because you remember in 2018, the 86-year-old congresswoman told her supporters, and I quote, "Let's make sure we show up whenever we have to show up." And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gas station, you get out and you create a crowd and you push back on them and you tell them that they're not welcomed anymore, anywhere. So yeah, this is Democrats basically inciting violence yet again against President Trump and his administration. One user even wrote how Hakeem Jeffries is going to get people hurt and or arrested saying words like this. Another one even added, Democrats are trying to entice violence and there needs to be some accountability. Well, if you want accountability, we start by calling them out for their lies. Just like what Joe Rogan did when the Kamala Harris campaign tried to make it look like it was him who pulled out of the interview back then. Check this out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
I guess it's a fun fact. This video already has more views than Kamala Harris's Call Her Daddy podcast appearance. It just goes to show the support you can get from the American people when you actually tell the truth. You know what I mean? It's definitely more than I can say about Kamala Harris's campaign. You see, it all started with excerpts of the book fight inside the wildest battle for the White House by Jonathan Allen and Amy Parnes. In the excerpt, Kamala Harris's campaign argued Joe Rogan's team made several difficult demands, including a refusal to meet on October 25th because it was Joe Rogan's personal day. The Harris campaign later alleged that they found out that Joe Rogan had sat down with Trump on that same day despite refusing to meet with Harris. But Joe Rogan flat out denied the accusation and said that the real problem was that Kamala Harris never committed to his show. Even better, he said that they have all the receipts, a whole list of conversations that took place. They never said that she was going to do it. So for Joe Rogan, the whole idea that they effed her over and that they effed her over for Trump, it's incorrect, just not true. The Harris campaign also tried to make a thing out of Joe Rogan being, according to them, difficult to deal with based on his demand to do the interview at his Austin, Texas studio. He pointed out the campaign itself had odd demands. He said that they were super easy, but also it got to the actual real show, that it shouldn't be some fake version where I'm sitting in a conference room. Also, apparently they wanted a stenographer in the room. They wanted staff in the room. While Trump, he was just being himself. Just Rogan, him, and Jamie. That's it. For 3 hours. Oh, and this part, Joe Rogan said Harris's team wanted it very controlled. They were very concerned that the podcast wasn't going to be edited. Definitely on brand when you consider what came out of the whole 60 Minutes interview, right? As Trump put it, they 100% removed Kamala Harris's horrible election-changing answers to questions and replaced them with completely different and far better answers taken from another part of the interview. This was proven after the Federal Communications Commission threatened them with sanctions, and the program was ultimately forced to finally share a full unedited transcript of the Harris interview. FCC Chair Brendan Carr said that there were a lot of people in this country right now on the radical left that are upset with this investigation, but he argues that he's there to apply the law evenly and that this is a rare situation where they have extrinsic evidence that CBS has played one answer or one set of words and then swapped in another set. And CBS's conduct through this, frankly, has been concerning. In fact, Trump is separately suing CBS News for $10 billion over the Harris interview. According to the legal filing, the news outlet engaged in partisan and unlawful acts of election and voter interference through malicious, deceptive, and substantial news distortion. They're also suggesting that major news networks be scrutinized more heavily and even lose their broadcast licenses over coverage that he feels is unfair to him. And after what Times Magazine pulled with that Elon Musk cover, I would definitely have to agree. They should not be able to get away with defrauding and misinforming the American people like that. Am I right, guys? Drop a quick yes or no in the comments down below. Let's get a conversation out of this. As always, appreciate y'all hitting the like button. Thanks so much for subscribing to the channel and for sharing this video. We'll see you guys on the next one.